Ranil is a certainty. Dhammika is not. President's doubts about Basil Namal. What happens to those riding in helicopter? Japan-bound secretary narrowly misses going to jail.
The leader, දේශයට මග කියන ප්‍රවෘත්ති පෙළගැස්ම.
Ranil is a certainty. Dhammika is not. President's doubts about Basil Namal. We at Leader TV are certain of what we report. Criticism will not make us change the way of our reporting. The above is our response to a comment received by us, which goes as, "It appears you promote Ranil." But this channel is watched because 95% of what it says is correct. The claim that we promote the president depends on one's political thinking. Those who are close to the president say, Leader TV is promoting Compass. That too is another opinion. Anyhow, what we report makes headlines sooner than later. We make maximum efforts to maintain credibility. Also, we have to say that we are not impartial. We have a political vision of our own. Now, it is to the topics for the day. Yesterday morning, Dhammika Pereira was the talk of the town. A breaking news came that said the SLPP has decided to field him as its presidential candidate. It went viral and politicians on vacation overseas became concerned. The president too was informed by his staff. Media loyal to Dhammika started sharing the news, with his media secretary Ajantha Ranasinghe doing the coordination. Ajantha was in the president's media during the times of Chandrika and Maithri. Those in the SLPP gave calls to Basil and were informed that he was on vacation with the family in the US. Sagara and Namal, too, received phone calls from embassies. The latter told his friend Dhammika Wickramasinghe, "This is a big nuisance." By the afternoon, a WhatsApp media group with links to the SLPP shared a message. It rejected reports that Dhammika has been chosen to be the party's presidential candidate and the national organizer. Such a decision is up to the Executive Council, which has not met since last Saturday. It also said, Leader TV called Namal for a comment, and his reply was, certain clauses of the party constitution were amended at the convention. One amendment gives powers to the Executive Council, the Politburo, to decide about a presidential election. After the convention, it met on Saturday the 16th. No decision was taken to appoint Dhammika Aya either as the national organizer or as the presidential candidate. Thereafter, the Executive Council did not meet. My view is that the candidate should be decided only after the election is called. To have further details, we called another top man in the SLPP. He asked us not to reveal his identity. According to him, a majority of the Executive Council wants the SLPP to field a candidate. We were in hot water after helping President Maithripala. Then, we did a grave mistake by fielding a non-party leader like Gota. We have gained nothing by making Ranil the president either. We do not regret it because he has done a lot in the past year. But most of us want a candidate fielded. It could even be Dhammika. But MP Namal wants the candidate to be appointed the national organizer too. There is time. Let's see once the election is called, he said. It is reported that before leaving, Basil has told Dhammika to be ready as the SLPP's candidate. His campaign is to be handled by the Indian advertising company that did Modi's campaign. Basil has got it done. Basil will have the final say. Remember, it was Dhammika who was given the national list position vacated by Basil. The crucial man in this is Gamini Gunaratne, or Bata. He is a former provincial councillor, Haley's director board member, and Dhammika's business crony. Ranil's confidants were the most worried by the news about Dhammika. But it has upped the morale of Lanka. who is abroad with his family on vacation. At last, Ranil will be okay if he separates himself with the Rajapaksas. Then, many from the SJB will support him. The barrier for us is over too. No one can say anything now, he told Siripala Amarasinghe during a phone call yesterday. Anyway, Ranil seems to be aware that Namal and Basil are up to no good. Finally, he told the cabinet yesterday that he will contest. Ranil said campaigning will begin in January and expected the ministers to support him. Leader TV has been saying all this long that he is certain to contest, while others said it won't happen. It seems he will not contest from the UNP, but consider him to be an independent candidate. It is too early to say if a separation from the SLPP will be better for him or not. Some in the SLPP want a general election held first, so it could even leave the government and demand it when Parliament meets next year. The first salvo fired in that direction could be yesterday's resignation of its administrative secretary Renuka as chairman of Milko. What happens to those riding in helicopter? When nominations were called for the local government polls, an alliance was formed on 12th of January as the Freedom People's Alliance under the helicopter symbol. Its members were the SLFP, NFF, DLF, CPSL, LSSP, Pivathuru Hela Urumaya, Vijayadharani National Council, Yuthukama, FPC, Janajaya Peramuna, SLMP, and the FPF. Nearly 36 of its MPs are now faced with a serious problem: what they are going to do at the presidential polls next year. Its executive council met at the CPSL office in Barela and discussed that. General Secretary Lanka raised it. We formed this alliance for the local government election. We all know Ranil will not hold that election. So we should decide whether to continue with our agreements, and if so, under what conditions. All participants agreed it should be their foremost concern. This time, almost every party has decided to talk to others. Another thing is Godahewa owns the party with the helicopter symbol. Soon, he and GL are going to ally with the SJB. The group allied under helicopter is due to disband soon. For some, the SJB will open its salon door, but definitely not for Wirawansa, Gamanpaila, and Rathana Thera. The SJB's new alliance is getting off the ground late this month, or in January if no auspicious time can be found. In the meantime, Fonseca is a worried man. He answered a question in front of the media. Whichever party comes to power, it should have a perfect leadership. Speaking in Parliament every day does not make a good politician. Everybody thought Viath Maga would do well. Education and doctorates and professorships are useless. Working for the people and leading the administration should be done with a lot of experience. Running a country is a very big responsibility, he explained. Fonseca believes that he will lose the chance for premiership under a SJB regime once GL, Roshan, and Dayasiri join the party. His birthday was yesterday. It was State Minister Diana's too. Senaka Silva wished her first and then met Fonseca to do the same. He was told, "Haven't you met the president recently? Go and see what he says." Fonseca also told him to find a new party. That may mean he is up to something. Not just him, many SJB seniors are concerned by the would-be new entrants to the party. But they have nowhere to turn to. Not to Ranil, because he is with the Rajapaksas. Compass will not accept them either. Some said during drinks at a friend's place in Borella, "We will definitely join Ranil if he separates from Rajapaksas." Jayasumana, too, said something along the same line during a media briefing in Anuradhapura. While talks are on with the SJB, it will also be considered to meet Ranil if he abandons the SLPP, he said. That could well be a signal given to Ranil. Japan-bound secretary narrowly misses going to jail. The secretary of a top government ministry was at Katunayake hoping to catch a flight for Japan. Just before boarding, he gave his passport to be stamped. To his surprise, the officer told him, "Sir, foreign travel is banned for this passport." The secretary denied it and went on arguing, but the officer did not relent. With the flight departing in 40 minutes, he phoned the secretary to Defense Matters and the immigration chief too. They tried, but it was not to avail. Now it is only 30 minutes left. Finally, he called the subject Minister, who intervened immediately. It was found to be due to a mistake and a wrong application. Within 5 minutes, the secretary was able to board his flight. Soon, the political stage will be full of talk about closing airports to prevent certain people from leaving the country. That is because the topmost slogan this time is against corruption. That's it for today.